all, the red, white, and blue, I absolutely love this. We got a video we're going to be putting out to everybody. You'll see it. Thank you so much for taking that to heart and coming out patriotic. You know, if you know me, you know I'm extremely patriotic, so that's awesome. What I'm going to do, I'm going to speak a little bit about our mission, a little bit about why you're here. But before I do that, we have our honored veteran, Jeremiah Abergast, here. I'm going to let Jeremiah tell you his story, tell you a little bit about how we can help him. And NFM Lending was awesome enough to sponsor Jeremiah to come out here. I think it's incredible that we have companies out there that are going to pay for honor veteran to be recognized and celebrated. So Jeremiah, if you wouldn't mind sharing your story, my man.
Thank you guys all for being here today. It's a real honor, and I appreciate Platoon 22 and the sponsors that put this on to have me honored. But this day is just not about me. You know, this day is about the veterans that are not here and suffer from post-traumatic stress and we've lost to suicide. But anyhow, I would like to thank you all for attending a great day of golf and to support a cause that's just. My name is Lance Corporal Jeremiah Arbogast. I'm a retired Marine. I'm honored to be here with you all today.
It's not working. Let me just.
It's not working. Okay.
We're done with this.
Oh, we're done with
Be
that.
loud.
All right. All right.
You're Marine. Yeah.
I'm honored to be with all you here today, and I want to thank Platoon 22 for honoring me today. But it's not, like I said, it's not about honoring me. It's about honoring the ones that are still suffering from what I suffer from, and the ones we've lost. But today, you know, about honoring Platoon 22, we need to bring awareness and prevention for such a severe epidemic between our veterans. Today, I would like to honor the ones who can't be here today due to suicide. That's my main priority, why I go around the country and speak at military bases, because I don't want people trying what I did. Because obviously I suffer from stuff, but again, we're not going to go too much into what it is. But while I was on active duty, if you guys didn't read a bio on me, I suffered a trauma that led to my post-traumatic stress and attempted suicide. Because of my post-traumatic stress, it led me down a road that I thought I was nowhere coming back from. And in 2009, during my continued battle with post-traumatic stress, I thought suicide was the answer. I ended up pointing a 9mm handgun in my chest, pulled the trigger, but because I was drinking and I was hurting so bad that it slumped and went in my high abdomen and came out my spine. Today, which, you know, it exited my spine, causing paraplegia, but I've gone through extensive rehab and things like that to be able to gain some mobility back with the help of prosthetic type stuff. But I thought ending my life would spare my family and friends the pain and what's the trauma brought upon my life. I died twice en route to the hospital. I shouldn't be here. But I was in surgery for over 7 hours. Things were grim. My family didn't know what was going to happen, but I'm here today, which I can only say is a miracle. There was a purpose that I was spared, and I learned that when I was in the hospital. And I wanted to share what I went through and try to prevent other people what they're going through, other vets, that they don't go down that same road. After the attempt, something clicked in my life. I didn't want anyone else going through the ordeal, so I decided to get into public speaking to try to end this epidemic. Now I travel the country telling my story to other service members and veterans about suicide awareness and prevention. But I don't want to talk about my ordeal too much, but other than just bring awareness and prevention to this cause. A few things I'd like to bring awareness to you all today is 1 in 5 veterans of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars are diagnosed with post-traumatic stress. 200,000 veterans go homeless each night. 20 to 22 veterans commit suicide every day. We all need to come out of our comfort zones and talk about the things we are sometimes afraid of, because comfort zones are dangerous and we have to come out of them in order to move forward and make a difference. Solidarity for this cause will be achieved when each of us and each other's brothers and sisters keepers share in what burdens each one of us. We don't leave, obviously we have NFL players here. You protect your people on the field. We need to protect our veterans out here as well, because if it wasn't for the veterans, people like Brian would not be able to play football and have a luxurious career. Other people, like, you know, it's just, veterans are so much to be thankful for, but we don't want to thanks, you know, because it's our pleasure to do what we've done. You know, we signed on the dotted line voluntarily, and you know, to us, that's, you know, that's all the thanks we need. You know, it's just the point is getting respect. We just want respect and things like that when we come back home. But again, if you would like to make a difference, you know, which being here today, all of you obviously do, other than to play a round of golf, you know, is to help fight this great cause. But please support Platoon 22's mission to end suicide and bring awareness for post-traumatic stress for our nation's warriors. I would again like to thank everyone for being here again today on this special day. I want to say good luck to all participants, donors, and especially the dedicated staff of Platoon 22 for their unwavering devotion to this cause. Danny, people, Lee, Jen, these people are on the front lines right now trying to end this epidemic, and they need a round of applause because they don't have to do that. But it's people like them that brings back hope for humanity and amongst our veterans, and it's starting to make a difference. But again, we all got to come together, and remember, we all can do a little better in each other's lives as well as our own. And you know, doing things for veterans, you know, it's you make yourself feel good, because I know I'm a vet, but the thing is I couldn't sit around and just pout about my injury and things like that. I had to get up, go out and get on the front lines and do things to try to prevent people being in my situation. But I would also like to thank NFM Lending and Hero for sponsoring this today. So I'd like to give them a round of applause, please. But again, have a great day of golf. I'll be around if anybody has any questions. But support this cause, because it's definitely just. And I deal with demons every day, but I can imagine the ones that we've lost because of those demons. So I've been down that road, lived life and death, but we need to stop it. You know, we're losing too many veterans. One veteran that we lose is one too many, and we can't let that happen anymore.
All right. All right, I do want to correct Jeremiah on one thing. He said that en route to the hospital he died twice. He shouldn't be here. I'd say he should be here. Hoorah!
Oh.
Yeah. All right, so before I talk about a little bit more about our mission, Hero, Med Impact, Homebridge, combined 3 companies, over $55,000 to this cause today. So like you heard the stats, 20 to 22 a day. It's obviously too many. So Platoon 22, our mission is to fund innovative research to identify the psychological warning signs that lead to it. I'm not going to go through word for word what our mission statement is, although we all can. What I am going to tell you is that, in a nutshell, we have to end veteran suicide. I want to see a quick show of hands. Who here knows anybody that's had cancer in their life? Who here personally knows anybody that's attempted or successfully committed suicide? Why suicide's not treated just like cancer, I don't know yet. It has to be. So I never served. My dad did serve in the Navy. I didn't. So I wasn't brave enough to go there. I'm brave enough to fight for them now. As civilians, can I see in the audience who here did serve? That's very typical. Thank you very much. The fact of the matter is if every veteran donated every dollar they had, wouldn't be enough. Civilians have to take it personally. If you had a family member or not, doesn't matter. You have every day of liberty and freedom because these men and women. We have to take it personally. So as the president of the board of Platoon 22 and not having ever served, that should set a precedent to everybody here that you can own it. Take it personally, just like I did with cancer. So please take that to heart. Last thing I'm going to say before I hand it over to Danny. The fact that you're out here today is phenomenal. Jeremiah kind of hinted at it. We enjoy the day. We're going to have a ceremony here that I think is going to be impactful. At the end of the day, we want to have a great day. We've tried our best to make this the most fun tournament we can give to you. But we do have veterans, 22 a day. That's got to stick in your mind. End suicide. Research is what we're going with. Thank you very much for coming. Dan's going to tell you a little bit more about his.
How y'all doing today? Huh? Doing good? Phenomenal. Hey, before we get started, I want to say thank you to the board. It's because of their time, their talent, their energies that not only today's event goes off the hitch, but all prior and all future. And because of y'all's leadership, I have zero doubt that we can accomplish our mission of eliminating veteran suicide. Huh? I also want to thank you too, Mr. Mitchell. You could have lended your name to any cause out there, and we appreciate that you chose ours. So thank you very much, sir. To our financial sponsors, there are literally hundreds of thousands of philanthropic efforts that you could put your financial resources behind. I promise you, it is not lost on a single member of this board that you chose us. So thank you so very much. Finally, the rest of you that took that hit, that said, you know what, I don't wanna, but I'll take Friday off to come play a round of golf. We appreciate that. Thank y'all very much. Now guys, ladies and gentlemen, what I hope you get out of this day is that today matters. You see, everybody that's out here, we all have busy lives. We lead them every day. We try to balance our professional goals, our family goals, our causes that we champion. And before you know it, what have I already said to somebody yesterday? Next week's already Memorial Day weekend. And you know, if you've been on this blue globe around the sun more than once, you know that Christmas will be here before you know it as well too. And so what happens in the hustle and bustle? Monday fades into Wednesday, Wednesday, Sunday, and before you know it, it's Monday again. We start to doubt whether a day matters. I 100% promise you all that today matters. In my story, a lot of folks think it's sad. Some people think it's unique. I'm here to tell you that it's not unique. I was adopted when I was 2 years old. I was molested by my brother and sister growing up. Education was not pushed in my household, and as a result, I barely graduated. I graduated 146 out of 147. I was 300 pounds in high school, so unlike some of these fine athletic specimens we got walking around here, I was not an athlete. No colleges came and talked to me. I didn't have any resources. So like so many young men and women from small towns and inner cities across America, I did what they all do. I went to my Uncle Sam. I enlisted in the United States Army in 1998, where I served 9 years, to include a combat tour in Iraq where I conducted over 700 convoy missions throughout the theater of operations in Iraq. I also took the first team into the Pentagon on 9/11 to remove remains. I am here to tell you it was a plane, it was not a rocket. I am extremely proud of the fact that on those 700 convoy missions, we never lost a single very important person we were escorting. However, sadly, the same cannot be said for the team itself. And on March 28, 2006, Staff Sergeant Robert Hernandez, husband, father, brother, son, died after a direct ID hit to his Humvee. I wear his name on my arm every single day to remind me that I have a responsibility to live up to the sacrifice that gentleman made. When I came back from Iraq, I came back whole physically. I had 10 up top, 10 below. But I wasn't right there in my head. I wasn't there ready. And I learned a hard lesson that too many of our veterans have to learn. Transitioning is not easy, and we're ill prepared for it. When you leave an organization where everything was service above self, where it was mission first, and you find yourself in a culture where oftentimes the bottom line is the first and only line that matters. You don't speak the lingo. You don't know how to explain the skill sets that you have, and you find yourself unable to find work, or in my case, fired from the first job that I ever got. I don't like sales. I hate to ask anybody for money, which is, I guess, a horrible skill set in some ways. But I got fired on Christmas Eve, of all days. And that in of itself was just the beginning of the downward spiral. I had no education. I had no money. I was evicted from the house that I lived in. If it had not been for that man right there, Dave Posen, my business partner, the handsome blonde gentleman with the soldier fit hat on, if it hadn't been for him calling around, asking, trying to find couches for me to crash on, there's no telling where I would be today. But ultimately, my first marriage fell apart. I'm going to give you a piece of advice, ladies and gentlemen. If you look down the aisle at the person you're walking towards and the person you're walking away from, and you think in your mind in that moment, if this doesn't work out, it won't be that big of a deal. It'll be a huge deal. I promise you, it will be a huge deal. But when my first marriage fell apart, to me, it was just another failure. And I went out, and I'm not much of a drinker. 1 beer, I'm giggling. 2 beers, I'm too loud for my wife. 3 beers, I'm snoring. And I remember sitting in there, and I was surrounded by all these people. This is before I understood mental illness, before I understood that we all wear masks. And I saw all these people that look happy and thrilled, and I thought to myself, all of these people are winners, and I'm a loser. And I had to leave, because in that moment I learned the saddest thing you can ever feel is to be alone in a crowded room. So I went home, and I have a bad back. I started popping pain pills. I just wanted to go to sleep. And in a perfect storm of depression and depressants, I wrote my suicide note, I tied my knots in my sheets, and I made a jump for it. Now, I can't tell you what happened next. I can't tell you if my knot tying skills was off because I was intoxicated. I can't tell you if the man upstairs just had a different plan for me. What I can tell you is that I woke up the next day strapped to a bed at Frederick Memorial Hospital, and I was admitted to their psych ward. And it was in that moment, that day mattered, because I found out that for me, there was a fate far worse than death that awaited me if I didn't get it together. That was the fate that I would never be able to go and come as I please again, that I would be locked up for the rest of my life. And what happened after I got out? I said, you know what? I'm going to get help. I'm going to go let people help me. And guess what's happened? Me and that gentleman right there went from the laughingstock of Montgomery County to one of the fastest growing companies in America. Actually, 2,644 to be exact. Out of over 30 million businesses, we made the Inc. 5000 list. We won Small Business. We've won Small Business of the Year in Germantown, Frederick, the state of Maryland. We represented the East Coast from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. We won Small Business of the Year for them. Now, I don't share this with you all to brag. I share it with you because there's a misconception, a misunderstanding that you can't survive with PTS, that you can't survive with depression, that you can't survive with these suicidal thoughts. I'm here to tell you not only can you survive, you can thrive, and I'm living proof of it. But guys, when I look back on time, as we start our march to 10 years as a company, I look back at time and I go back and I revel in nostalgia. What I'm saddest about is not that Soldier Fit wouldn't be here. It's not that I wouldn't be here. It's not even that all of you wouldn't be here. What I'm saddest about is she wouldn't be here. Had I been successful in my suicide attempt, this is River Lynn. This is my best friend. She's beautiful like her mama. Her smile lights up the room. She loves her turtle, and she loves Foffles. When you go home and you look at the kids in your life, you look at your children, you look at others' children that you care about, and you think about the fact that whether it's 20 or 22 vets a day committing suicide, how many little world changers aren't here because they're not here? Their life ripples throughout eternity. It matters not what your politics is, ladies and gentlemen. At a rate of 20 to 22 vets a day, we lose over 124,000 men and women to their own hand. Overseas, in 2 different wars on 2 different fronts in Iraq and Afghanistan, we've lost 8,325 men and women to direct combat action. So it doesn't matter what you care. If you didn't agree with sending us, we're dying at a higher rate here at home than we ever did over there. And if you did agree with sending us, then you entered into a social contract to make sure that they had the resources to take care of themselves. Today matters. Today you can decide to fully join our platoon and commit to our cause and help us raise the $672,000 needed to fund this research grant so we stop guessing why they killed themselves and we understand why they killed themselves so that we can fight it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're Platoon 22 and we fight for those who fought for us. Hope you win.
Man, if that wasn't powerful, I don't know what was. Danny, that's another round of applause for Danny, please. Well, it is now time. My job is to talk to you guys about Platoon 22, presentation of the flag ceremony.
Hey, Cody, come Facebook Live real quick.
Before I get into this, I'm going to ask everybody if you have a phone and you have Facebook, go Facebook Live for us right now. Hashtag it Platoon22 HIW. While I'm doing that, I want to give a special thanks to one of our sponsors, CK Signals.
My name's Kevin Robinson. I'm a Maryland resident now and grew up in New Jersey. I work with Bellwether Insurance Partners. I'm actually the owner of it. And we work with small businesses and homeowners, just helping them protect their assets, their homes or businesses. Well, we thought that this was a wonderful cause as soon as I got involved with it. I was at an event maybe a year ago, a similar golf event. I saw Danny speak and just kind of the passion that he has for veteran issues, especially mental health issues surrounding vets, just kind of moved me. And then one of the people who's integral, 2 of the people that are integral in our agency are very involved with Platoon 22. So we were there from beginning and just supported them throughout the entire process. So whatever we can do, financially support, bringing out people, rallying people around the cause, whole agency rallies around it. So, well, I think that, again, I think that Danny's story is not different from a lot of people, but his ability to actually get up and communicate that and actually have people rally around him is just, you know, he puts him in a perfect position to kind of be the face of this organization and rally people around it. I don't think the story is that different than other vets who suffer from PTS and just suffer from depression and different things, but, you know, to come out on the other side and rally people around it, not just other vets, is just it's magnetic, and it draws people to it. And I think that's why he's such a great leader of this organization, and that's why there's so many people out here today. So.
My dad's a military guy, and he always told me about respecting the military and making sure that they understand that they are our heroes. And 3 years ago, I went to this tournament. It was called the Bradley Open over at another golf course. And when I heard Danny speak, and I'm just like Danny in a sense where people have trying situations, and a lot of people don't use it to help benefit other people. Danny decided to take his story and the things that had happened to him and make it something better for everybody else. And he uses his tragedy as a strength or as a stepping board to make people's lives not have to go the way his did. And so James Roberts, a good friend of mine, he was involved with it, and I told James, I said, I want to get involved with that. And he said, can we put your name on a tournament? I said, definitely. Not because I don't need to get the recognition because of that, because it's a tournament that makes a difference. We live a life, we're out here playing golf today. I play pro football as a living. Why? Because of people like Danny, people like my dad, people like all these people that went in the military that risked their lives to make sure we can live this little comfortable life. And then when those people go out there and go through all the things they go through and come home and they're dealing with situations, we normally turn our backs on them. And I don't want to be a guy that turn my back on them. So I think just coming out here and doing what I'm doing today, this is easy. I mean, it's not nothing tough. And I think if a lot of people begin to understand that you don't have to go way out your way to do something. You can go through everyday life, but just show a little respect for the people that go out there and bust their butts and risk their lives to make sure you can live the life that you're living. I don't care if you're the president, Donald Trump. I don't care if you're any person out here. If you are able to pay to play golf, you can be a president, you can own a golf course, you can do anything. You have enough to go out there and make sure you try to make a difference in the lives of the people that make a difference in ours every day.
With Platoon 22 and what they stand for, and anything we can do to help with the cause and bring awareness, we're all in. So we love the partnership.
Yeah, why'd you guys team up with Platoon 22, or why'd you become a sponsor?
Well, I got introduced to Platoon 22 last year by James. He's a good friend of mine. He's now the president here. Our company had been supporting Platoon 22 for a number of years now. We do a NFM Salute, which is we nominate a veteran every month, and Platoon 22 is one of the charities that is the beneficiary of that monthly contribution. And then James approached us last year, involved us with the planning committee, wanted us to sponsor part of this huge event in honor of the veterans, and that's how we got involved, and we're here today.
You guys golfing?
No.
No. So you're out here, and so as being a sponsor, you guys are out here just
to support, show our support.
That's it.
Yep.
That's great. Is there any reason? Is there any veteran, or do you guys personally have any personal stories about veterans, or anybody in your family that you may know that there's a certain connection?
Yeah, in the NFM family, we have quite a few people that served in the military. Our COO is a former Marine. Our former sales. I'm sorry, he just got in the way. I'm sorry.
What's that?
He just tried to push out of the way. So yeah, our association with the military runs very deep as an organization. Several members of our executive team served in the military, and many of our employees, we have over 400 employees at NFM, they have either served or have a family member who served or know somebody that did. So obviously there are many layers and people that have served, and we can't do enough to thank all those who served in the past and continue to for our freedom. So that's very important to us. It's a big cause, and we're delighted to be a part of it.
Great. Where's NFM located at?
We're in Baltimore, Maryland.
Baltimore?
Uh-huh.
And that's where all the employees are also?
That is where some of the employees are.
Okay.
So we have about 420 employees, and I would say 100 of them are there.
And NFM stands for?
National Fidelity Mortgage.
Okay,
actually,
great.
it's NFM. NFM Lending is what it is. So
Lending.
There's
okay,
no acronym at this point. It's a long story.
Platoon 22 is a great cause, helping our soldiers come back into civilian life. We know that there's 22 veterans every day killing themselves. That's unacceptable on any terms. This is also close to me because I have a friend who I graduated high school with who committed suicide on January 1st, 2013. So we're hoping to support him and all the others like them and find a way of bringing them back and letting them know there's other options.
And so what do you think about the Platoon 22 and what they're trying to do?
I think it's amazing. I think the people are fantastic. The volunteers here giving their time to help this out, and the energy, the enthusiasm, the passion they have for it, it's exciting. I'm just so happy to be part of it and be around here.
What do you think about like just more people getting involved in this kind and just and making sure awareness? I mean, what do you think? You have a message for those folks?
I think this is everybody's cause. Our soldiers go on the line and protect themselves for our freedom, put themselves in harm's way every day of their life. They make sacrifices that are amazing. They stay away from their families, their children. They miss their children being born. They miss the holidays, the birthdays, and most importantly, they put their lives on the line. Some of them come back with serious problems, mental disorders that they can come back with, the post-traumatic stress syndrome. That is a real disease. It's a real injury that they come back with. And I think every American should get involved. Every company should try and support a cause like this, because these are our people that protected us. They did their job. It's time for us to do ours.
Charity golf tournament. I need to tell you guys I'm a board member for Platoon 22. Everybody you see today wearing one of these shirts is a board member. You'll meet some of us today, some of us will be speaking. But again, we'll start off with, can I get a huge, big round of applause for everybody that helped put this event on today. We really do want it. We want to be spectacular. All right, we're going to get the necessary, but don't take offense, the boring stuff out of the way.
Happy to see everyone come out today. This is a great cause, and I think when I went to the first event that they invited me to, and I heard Danny speak, it touched me. My dad was in the military. I have a lot of relatives that were in the military, and when you see how they're impacted, the things that happen once they leave, you want to make their lives different. Look, they go out there and they do everything they can. They're like an offensive lineman. They do all the dirty work, all the grunt work to make sure all of us have great lives. But when they get back, we don't treat them like they're supposed to be treated. So that's why I got involved with this, and I'm going to be involved with it as long as it's going to be in existence. And everybody out here should give yourselves a round of applause for just showing up. That's a great thing.
And looking good.
Yeah.
Red, white, and blue, baby.
We're here to have a lot of fun while raising money for a great cause, and that's the main thing. This is not hard. To play golf, drink, have fun around beautiful ladies and everyone else out here, beautiful men too. It's not a hard thing to do. But if we all just do a little bit more, we can make the lives of the people that do all the dirty work, the grunt work, for us to have great lives. We can make their lives how it's supposed to be. They should be praised instead of being treated like they've been treated, to make them have to go through the situations that they go through. So when I talk with James is into this thing full steam ahead. And James, I'm with you. You got a partner with me. We're going to keep doing this. And like I said, I'm just happy to be here. I'm ready to go out and play some golf, have fun, raise some money for a great cause. Because that's what we're here for, to raise money for a great cause. Thank you.